Tucker Carlson has some advice for his audience. Advice that, to be honest, I'm inclined to take. Here is what Tucker Carlson, late last Friday, told his audience. Your job is to make fun of Lindsey Graham and to disavow Lindsey Graham. Okay, stop right there because right off the bat, 100% on board, right? Our job is to make fun of Lindsey Graham, to disavow Lindsey Graham. I am right there with you, Tucker. This is the one time I will actually agree with you. If you stop reading the statement right there. Because it turns out Tucker Carlson doesn't just want people to make fun of Lindsey Graham because it's fun or because it's easy. He wants people to make fun of Lindsey Graham because, gosh darn it, Lindsey Graham isn't on Russia's side right now. So he continues. Your job is not to emulate Lindsey Graham and steal his talking points. And if you do emulate Lindsey Graham and steal those talking points, you will lose. And the losing candidates did just that. And then, of course, he talked about a election in New York where the Republican candidate was a pro-Ukraine Republican candidate, and he lost his election that he was going to lose regardless of where he stood on Russia-Ukraine, by the way. But Carlson pointed to that as, aha, Lindsey Graham has also expressed his support for Ukraine, and now this other guy in New York did it months ago. And would you look at that, he lost his election. So do not emulate Lindsey Graham, make fun of him. And dang it, Tucker, you had me for a minute. You really did. I thought you were really giving me permission to just go out there and just beat the hell out of Lindsey Graham every day, verbally, of course. But you had to throw in your pro-Russia BS. You know, even before, like in the run-up to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, because that's what it is, it's an invasion, Russian state media started running Tucker Carlson's monologues on their networks, right? The Kremlin-controlled propaganda network said, Tucker Carlson is doing such a good job of selling this for us, let's just air his monologues. We'll translate them to Russian. Not that hard, considering he's basically spouting Russian propaganda anyway. And that's what they did. Now, I don't know if they're still doing this or not. I haven't been paying close attention to Russian state media. But Carlson has consistently, every now and then he'll say something sympathetic towards Ukraine, but then he'll, call for them to surrender. Just give Putin what he wants and this will all be over. Tucker Carlson is a pro-Putin fascist, is what he is. It still blows my mind, by the way, that anybody can look at this situation unfolding over there in Eastern Europe and say, oh, I think Russia's got the right idea. Like, you have to be a complete brain-dead stooge to look at that objectively and say, oh, no, Ukraine brought it on themselves. No, they didn't. I'm not in favor of any conflict at all between these two countries. But I'm also not going to sit here and act like Russia isn't the aggressor. I'm not going to say that it's totally fine that the United States is sending over billions of dollars every couple of months, selling them billions of dollars worth of weapons. That's also not good. We shouldn't be doing that anymore. But we also can't let this tyrant over there in Russia push people around and act like, hey, your land is now mine. So what is the solution? I don't know. And by the way, neither do the other people who do what I do for a living. Nobody has a clear, firm answer of how this thing could and should work. We all have our separate ideas, some a lot worse than others. But the one idea I will stand behind is making fun of Lindsey Graham for anything and everything other than, of course, the fact that he doesn't want Russia to win. But that doesn't mean, by the way, that Lindsey Graham is still on the right side of this, because Lindsey Graham is all in favor of sending more and more and more weapons over to Ukraine and basically building up to what could potentially be World War III. So Graham is still wrong, so we should mock him for that. But Tucker Carlson is 100% wrong if he thinks that that is the big issue with Lindsey Graham. There's plenty to talk about with Lindsey Graham, plenty to go after him for, none of which involves his stance on Ukraine. So that's that. So again, for me personally, I'll only be listening to the first part of Tucker Carlson's advice, which, once again, your job is to make fun of Lindsey Graham. Can do. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.